Let's go ahead and learn the full minor scale. This scale is going to add 4 new notes to what you already know from the basic scale. I'm going to just run through the scale first, and then we'll go through and talk about each one of those new notes individually. Okay, so you probably noticed right off the bat that I half-hold one of the holes. So that note I'm getting by simply raising my finger up a little bit. So the note we're looking for is right here. Now you're going to have to come to that note in 2 different ways. One way is you're going to come to it from the bottom. The other way is from the top. You may even come from it from a position like this. The half hole is really important. You don't have to learn to play it. If you're really struggling with it, you know what? Come back to it another day. That's no problem. But if you can learn how to do the half hole, it'll really open up the opportunities for you in terms of what you can make music-wise on the flute. So let me show you an exercise that will really help, I think, with playing that half hole for you. Now that may seem really trivial, but I promise you, if you'll just take 5 minutes a day and practice doing just what I showed you, that within a week's time, you're not going to have any trouble at all half-holing. It'll become something that's very, very easy for you. And that will open up lots of opportunity for you for making music. Again, that exercise looks like this. Okay, the next note that's different on the scale was right here. We came up. So that's the different note. And this is what we call cross-fingering. When you place a finger down below a hole and lift a finger here, that's called cross-fingering. We're going to learn some more cross-fingering notes here in a little bit. But for the minor scale, this is the one that's important, this note. Again, this is a note that is a little bit tricky to make sound right because you have to do a jump. And it can sound not continuous. It can sound a little bit disjointed when you're first playing that note. And the way to make it good and continuous is to just practice going in and out of that note. And one of the techniques that I'm using is I'm stopping my breath. Sometimes I'm using my tongue. So that it gives me a very distinct sound. Other times I'm just slowing my breath when I make the exchange. And if you get really good and smooth with your fingers, you can do it with a good continuous breath. The next 2 notes that are different on this, on the full major or full minor scale, are the top 2 notes above octave. One of them goes like this, and the next is like this, and there's a little bit of a half hole here. Now, sometimes you may have to close that hole up a little bit, or you may have to open it a little bit to bring the pitch to where you want it. If it needs to go a little bit sharper to your ear, you open it up a little bit. If it needs a little flatter, you close it up a little bit. It's one of the unfortunate things with the native flute. We have this big bore. A traditional flute has a very small bore. That small bore lets you get to very accurate notes in above octave, but it takes away this really rich, big, beautiful sound that we love so much from the native flute. And there's just no other way to get it than having a big bore. And so there are some trade-offs. And one of those trade-offs is the pitch of this note. And so, again, we're going to play it like this. Now, when I hit that note, one of the things that I'll do is I'll hit it with a quick t, like a T. I say t, t, t. So I go t. and I hit it with a quick burst of air. And that quick burst of air punches that note up into where it needs to be. But I want to back off on it real quick too, otherwise it sounds really heavy-handed. See, very heavy-handed, so I want to hit it with a quick t and then back my pressure a little bit. So do you hear how you can bring that, even with a little burst of air, you can still make that note sound very sweet and smooth and elegant. So again, those two notes are 5 minutes a night for 1 week, and you'll be a master at it.